You got to enjoy the little things in life, man.
That's true.
You got to just laugh. Even I mean, we could all be all bummed out, be like, oh, dude, that sucks. You're going to jail. What happened?
So, got arrested.
But no, you get friends like us. We're like, dude, that's awesome. What's up, everybody? You are going to want to stick around for today's episode because today's going to be fun. So, we are here at a courthouse in Somerset, Kentucky, and I brought a buddy of mine with me. See if I can prop his phone up. Brought a buddy of mine with me because, so here's what's going on. So we got a friend of ours that apparently has a warrant out for their arrest. Did not know this. This has been like 10, 12 years or maybe more. We don't know. We're not 100% for sure what's actually going on, but somehow he found out that he's got this arrest warrant out for him for some, I don't know. So he's like, let's get it fixed. So I'm going to go Monday and get this, take care of it. But can you do me a favor and show up just in case? Because he's like, I don't know. Now, dude, we're going down the night before, so we came down last night. We got a hotel room and been hanging out so that way we can get a good night's sleep. We're up, we're rested, we're ready to go. And to make sure we get as much of this on video as we can. I don't know what's going to happen.
It is a warrant.
It is a warrant. But they wouldn't let him do it over the phone. They wouldn't let him do it over the mail. So they're making him drive in here. And he doesn't even live here anymore. He hasn't lived here in probably 10, 12 years minimum. So he's like, dude, show up just in case. So I come down. I brought a buddy of mine with me. So the backstory to today's story is he don't know that I brought my buddy with him. So he's getting ready to show up and doesn't know Jory's coming, which is just to us funny. Because he's like, oh, I gotta get this taken care of. I'm like,
He gives me so much grief about my warrant.
so much that I'm like, I was coming home right after he had called me. He's like, hey, can you show up and be there just in case? I'm like, yeah. So as soon as I hung up with him, like 10 minutes later, I'm like on the phone, I'm like, hey, Jory, how bad do you have to work Monday? I mean, how bad? He's like, well, kind of gotta work. He's like, why? And I'm like, he got a warrant and he's got to go. He's like, screw work. I'm coming with you. We're going.
It's my business. I'll shut it down if I want to.
And I brought him because he has a little bit more experience with this kind of stuff. I'm going to let him explain his warrants.
Well, warrant. It's singular.
Warrant.
It's not plural, man.
Well, but it's lasted for so long that it feels like there's like multiple ones.
It has lasted a really long time, unfortunately. Yeah. So part of the condensed version was I ended up getting pulled over for registration on a motorcycle that I'd bought out of state and it didn't have a tag. And so I just forgot about going to court. It was supposed to be right around Christmas time that year. I just forgot all about it. And so I'm driving around for almost a year on a suspended license that I didn't know about because, in case anyone needs to know, they don't send you letters when they suspend your license. They just don't tell you. And so about a year goes by, I get pulled over and state trooper, super nice guy. I was like, okay, well, what's the bigger problem? I was thinking, oh, you're going to tell me I got a gun? What do I do? Like, you know, and he was like, your license is suspended. And I was like, are you kidding me? So he was the coolest cop because he's like, technically, man, he goes, where are you going? I was like, home. And he was like, look, man, he's like, I could have your car impounded. I really don't want to deal with that. He's like, I'm keeping your license because I have to. You are going to go straight home. Yes? I said, yeah. He goes, and then tomorrow you're going to get this fixed, right? And I'm like, tomorrow I'm going to work to get this fixed. He's like, good. We understand each other. Go home. So I'm like, okay. And so in the meantime, I get it all fixed and everything's good. And of course, it's Christmas time again. I missed the court date for Henry County area. And so I get the cop shows up at the house and my son, I wasn't home, I was at work, and my son tells me, and And so I called the courthouse and I'm like, I don't, like, what is this? And they were like, oh, don't worry. It's a cite and release warrant. They're like, if you get pulled over or anything, they'll just cite you. They'll let you go. Like, here's your new court date. It was, I don't know, January the 12th or something. And I was like, okay, great. Well, about a week goes by and at 1 a.m. in the morning, cop shows up knocking on the door. And because a warrant, it means you're going to jail. Like, apparently that is what, there is no such thing as a cite and release warrant. It's just warrant, go to jail. Do not pass go.
Suspect there now, Vermont and Oakwood is now code 3. The suspect is now following the PR on.
And so it was kind of funny, which I personally had never been to jail. So I was like, well, this is kind of exciting and kind of funny. So like, you know, and the cop was like, you know, he didn't understand. He's like, why are you excited? I'm like, well, I've never been to jail, but it's going to make for a funny story. And you just said you're going to bring me back home. So like they called their supervisors. So anyway, needless to say, at like 1 a.m. in the morning, I got hauled off to jail. And then they processed everything. They brought me back home.
Tell about when you told your wife what's going on. Don't forget, that's the best part of the story.
So the cop tells me, he's like, I got to take you to jail, man. And I was like, well, okay, let me go put a shirt on and let me tell my wife and I'll be right back. And the cop had already offered to bring me home. So I go in, I get a shirt and I tell my wife, I was like, I got to go to jail. And she was like, what? Do you need me to come and get you? And I was like, oh no, the cop said he would bring me home. And she was just like, oh, okay, that's great. And literally just rolled over into bed. Like it's a weekly occurrence at our house that I go to jail and she doesn't even care anymore. So, yeah. So anyway, that was good. So, I go out, the cop, you know, puts me in the car, takes me to jail. And it was a mess. It took forever to get taken care of. So, and it's still technically, it is a continuing story.
And how did you find out that it's a continuing story?
So that was 3 years ago.
Yeah,
it was 3 years ago when that happened. That the whole jail thing and all that. And so I go. This past October, I went to Newfoundland to go moose hunting. And so when we go across the Canadian border, like, you know, obviously we're taking our rifles. We had some bourbon. So what they do, what all nice Canadians do, they destroy our truck and all of our stuff, hunting through everything. But apparently they run a background check. They take me into a room.
Nitro gloves. Nitro gloves.
When they ask me all these questions and stuff about, and so the end of the story was all these charges were dismissed, but the person at the courthouse checked other instead of dismissed. I don't even know exactly what that means, at least in America, but in Canada, that is an indictable offense.
Contact our people in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police,
for which you could go to jail. So the guys at the Border Patrol were like, yeah, really, to be honest, they're like, you're funny. It's a great story. We believe you. They're like, but just so you know, it's our decision whether you go to jail or you get to go hunting. And I told them, I said, you know, while going to jail would provide a little more humor to the continuation of this train wreck of a story, I really want to go on this hunt. So they were really cool. They let me go. So needless to say, I still need to get a lawyer and have that changed back to where it is appropriately dismissed, but never ends.
So I brought my buddy because he's got experience with this. I don't. And I was kind of thinking this morning, I'm like, I wonder if I can go in there and get an honorary mugshot. Like what they give the junior deputy badges and stuff to the kids. I wonder if I can go in and get an honorary mugshot when they haul, like, do my buddies. And then we would all three be able to have like mugshots of like, we've been to jail.
Or you could do something dumb, like go ahead and just take your pistol in there and actually get arrested.
No, I want the honorary kind, not the official kind, at least yet. So, but yeah, anyway, so that's what's going on today. You're going to want to stick around for this because I don't know how much we're going to get to record because they're not going to let us record inside.
Probably not.
It's going to be so fun. You got to enjoy the little things in life, man.
That's true.
You got to just laugh, even at, I mean, we could all be all bummed out, be like, oh, dude, that sucks. You're going to jail. But no, you get friends like us. We're like, dude, that's awesome. I'm going to come video it. Let's do this. So we're going to have fun today. Now, the other people that it's around us, I can't video them because they're probably not going to be laughing like we are. But maybe they'll see us laughing and joking and cutting up, and maybe they can have a good day.
Spreading holiday cheer, right?
Spreading the holiday cheer this Christmas. We can be like Oprah Winfrey. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
We're not the judge. We don't get to hand it out that way.
No, but we can start just yelling it. There's people in the parking lot already. So I think I've GPSed it from his house to here, and he should be coming in from behind us. So it's going to be pretty funny when he gets here. I'm going to pop out and go walking around videoing, and then Jordy's going to jump out. I feel like we're on a sting or something. We're like waiting for him to come. So, all right, here we go. Go, go, go. So the coolest, funny thing just happened. We're waiting see that black car? Wait till he pulls up in front of the bush. Oh, I hope you'll be able to see it. So,
the trucker's like, dude, you got a problem.
Oh, no, white car. Move, white car.
Come on,
Move, white car. Here we go.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's getting out. He's getting out. Oh, there's the gas pump.
There it was. He just put it in the back like nothing happened. Ah, it's no biggie.
He just pulled in. He's here beside me. Let me zoom.
I was wondering what everybody was honking about. They're honking at me, and I was like, what is going on?
I was like, he's got the gas pump still stuck in his truck or his car.
Moral support, baby, because I got
I was
experience.
going to tell Jordy to sit up my team, but I
We was sitting here trying to hide, and then all of a sudden the car drives by with the gas pump, and we're like, oh!
We got sidetracked with the gas pump.
Well, like I said, I got back here at the stop sign, and somebody's just laying on the horn, and I'm looking around like, I'm not doing it. It's a stop sign, dude. And then I finally seen the chick in front of me with the gas nozzle and the hose dragging down the road. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Her husband just got out and pulled it out and throwed it in the trunk like it was no big deal.
Souvenir, baby.
Garage wall hanger.
All right, let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
How bad you got to go to work Monday? I'm like, well, I actually got to drive the Valdogga camper up and everything. So I was like, it's kind of important. Why? And he's like, Eric has a warrant. I'm like, never mind. It's going to cost me $125. I'm going. Let's go.
She told me to walk to the door with the cash in my hand right here. 2012. The only thing I can think of is it's the ex-wife, because our names are exactly the same. She just has an A on the end of her first name.
That's what I'm really hoping.
And she's attorney. When I was working overseas in Afghanistan, I wasn't even in the country in 2012. I was in Afghanistan.
Hey, man, fun times.
Yeah, beautiful. Just another thing I got to deal with.
We'll make it work. That's why we're
Funny
here for
us.
funny.
Yeah, I get this notice in the mail, and I'm like, what is this? And somebody did a record search. I was like, oh, you have an outstanding warrant from 2012 for expired temporary. That's what tells me it was her. Expired registration, expired temporary plate. And she bought like 6 new cars in 4 months when I was in Afghanistan. She went nuts.
All right, we are back outside, and he is with us. So So what happened?
So got arrested. Uniform citation. So they arrested at the court, $2,000 bond. But I called the courthouse in advance. They told me to bring $225 in cash. And they gave me a copy of the warrant from 2012. No registration plates, expired temporary plate, failure to register, transfer of motor vehicle from February of 2012. I'm pretty sure I was in Afghanistan in 2012. I have no recollection of any of this. And the only way I even found out about this is I got sent a record in the mail that said somebody did a record search on me, and here's a copy of your records currently active in Kentucky. And so I was like, what in the world? So I called the courthouse, and they said, come down here, bring cash, $225, which was 10% of the bond plus. And so yeah, so now I have another court date that I have to come back over expired registration and temporary plates And like I said, I have no recollection of this from 2012. So, I mean, I was even a deputy sheriff in 2015, and they did a nationwide search to make sure I wasn't a felon.
But it was a real warrant. So guess who can't give me crap about my warrant anymore?
Unbelievable. So, yeah. So, watch me forget this court date and have to start the process all over again.
Oh.
And then he's going to try to go into Canada hunting or something in a couple of
you'll
years.
get a real mugshot then, buddy.
I doubt I can even get into Canada now, honestly, because now there's a record that I've been arrested over some nonsense.
When they dismiss it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, the only thing I can think of is my
Unless they check other.
Yeah, don't let them check other. That's a indictable offense in Canada. Make sure it says dismissed.
The only thing.
I like the shirt. He wears the Goonies say die. Never say die. Well, unfortunately, we still only have one person in this group that officially still has a mugshot. I'm still waiting on mine. I was even sitting inside there and I was looking over. I was like, what's the smallest offense I can make to still be able to get a mugshot, but yet not lose my job kind of stuff. So I'm gonna have to do some research on that because I kind of feel like the one that's left out of the club now. I don't have a mugshot.
Fun and games, fun and games.
All right.
I'm probably going to go to court and the judge is going to be like, oh, you've been on the run for a long time.
Oh, they got him. They got the tater.
They got the tater.
All right. Well, let's go have some fun today now that you're a free man.
Yeah, all right.
At least for a month.
Let's go get in trouble.
All right. See you in a little bit. All right, guys. It's been a month. So now to you, it's been 4 seconds, but to us, it's been a little over a month. And so now we're here to tell the end of the story. Do you have a felony still?
I never had a felony.
Okay.
All right, so story time. So I got this in the mail on a Friday. So Administrative Office of the Courts, criminal history record, disposition system disclaimer. Basically, somebody did a record search on me and they provided me a copy of the records. And then I looked at it and it says active warrant or bench warrant on March of 2012. And I was like, that can't be right. I don't have a bench warrant. And original charges filed were on February of 2012 for no or expired registration plates, expired temporary plate, failure to register, transfer a motor vehicle. So basically a citation, a ticket for something.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of this. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I was in Afghanistan in 2012. So I literally have no recollection of this. But what that tells me is temporary plate, failure to register, transfer a motor vehicle. It tells me that I must have bought a vehicle in 2012 and I didn't get what I needed from the dealership, because the dealership is the one that sends you out the plates, or at least that's been my experience when I buy a car. Mm-hmm. You know, you get a temporary tag and then they send you your license plates and your registration, all that stuff. So this is saying I got pulled over because I had a temporary plate that was expired and failure to transfer, register a motor vehicle. Anyway, I have no recollection of this. So not saying it did or didn't happen, I don't remember. It's 2012. So my first thought was, this is a scam. Somebody's trying to get me to call in and get money from me. So I called the courthouse in Kentucky, and they said, no, we got the case number right here. This is accurate. And I said, okay, well, how do I take care of this? Because I've been driving to Kentucky since 2012. I drive down to see Unlucky Ginger all the time. I go right through Kentucky when I go play in Indiana. We do our hunting and fishing together and all that other stuff. So any one of those times, from the hundreds of trips that I've driven down there, I could have got pulled over and I would have went straight to jail in handcuffs because they have an active bench warrant for my arrest in Kentucky. So I talked to the nice lady on the phone. She's like, oh, no big deal. Just come down to the courthouse, bring $225 in cash, and we'll get it taken care of, and no problem. So I called my best friend. I was like, well, why don't you meet me there, because it's not that simple. I used to be a deputy in 2015. Like, you don't just show up with some cash when you have a warrant. I said, it's more probable that they're going to arrest me at the courthouse because I have a warrant. So I walked in and talked to the city clerk, and she's like, oh, you have an active bench warrant. Let me call the bailiff. And I was like, here we go. So here comes the bailiff, the officer. And he's like, all right, come back here in the back room with me. So he arrested me on paper. So uniform citation on paper says I was arrested at the courthouse. And then he was laughing. He's like, good news is you don't have a warrant anymore. So, yeah, that's good news. So then I went back to the circuit court clerk and paid her the $225. And I got a receipt for it, which was 10% of the $2,000 bond. So, and then they scheduled me a new court date a month later. Excuse me. So, I had to go back to court a month later at 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, keep in mind, I don't live in Kentucky. I haven't lived in Kentucky in 14 years, so this is like a 2-hour drive for me. So I get up at like 4 in the morning to drive and make sure I'm there in time for this 9 a.m. court appearance. I get into the courtroom. Courtroom is absolutely packed, traffic court. So if those of you don't know, if you get a traffic ticket, you can either pay the fine or you can go to court and dispute it. But if you don't pay the fine and you don't go to court, it's an automatic warrant that they issue for your arrest. Failure, you fail to make an appearance in court or you fail to address the citation. So they issue a bench warrant for your arrest, and the next time you get pulled over, you're going to go to jail until you pay that fine off or have your court appearance. So I'm sitting in court, courtroom's completely packed. I'm like, I'm going to be here all day long. The judge went through all the defendants that had attorneys there very quickly. I did not. I was just going to represent myself. It's traffic court. And so all the attorneys stood up and they're like, all right, my client's this, my client's that, et cetera, et cetera. And then the judge said, I'm going to go on recess. The county attorneys are here and they can probably help a lot of you make deals and make deals with a lot of you guys. Blah, blah, blah. So he takes a recess and he goes. And so the two county attorneys, the county prosecutors are taking rows. And I'm sitting in like the third row. They're taking a row at a time. Like show up here, show up here. So it's my turn. I get up there and she's looking at my case. She's got a whole docket of everybody that's in there for court. And she's looking at my case. She goes, okay, did you bring any proof in? And I said, ma'am, proof of what? And she's like, well, registration, all that. I said, ma'am, I said, I don't even think I was in the country in 2012. And she said, what? And then she looked down at the paperwork and saw it with, these charges from 2012. And she looked at me, she goes, oh shit, I'm dismissing this. She's like, I'm so sorry you came all the way in here. I said, yeah, I haven't even been a Kentucky resident for 14 years. I said, I have no recollection of this, whatever vehicle this was in 2012. And she's laughing and she's just like, I'm so sorry you had to come all the way down here to deal with this. You can probably get your $200 bond. But I said, ma'am, I'm not even worried about it. I just don't want to have to come all the way back to Kentucky. I don't live here. So she's like, I'm so sorry. We probably had a records system update and it sent out all these automated records and all this other stuff. And like I said, all of this is a big surprise to me because I was a deputy in 2015 and they did a nationwide search, to make sure I had a clean record, which I did. And they checked out all my social media back in 2015, which I did not have any. I stayed off social media and before I got hired. So, this was, a big shock to me that, no, it's not a scam. You actually have a warrant out for your arrest since 2012. So I've been on the run for a long time.
We'll get you a shirt that says former fugitive.
Yeah, former fugitive. Yeah. So I got copies of all this paperwork, and I did not get any copies of anything that shows the case is actually dismissed. So all I have is the county attorney's, it's like, oh, I'm going to dismiss this. And she wrote on a piece of paper, she's like, you're free to go. I'm like, well, thanks.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So
I have been to jail once in my entire life with him back in 1999. Same thing. I had a bench warrant for a speeding ticket that I did not know about. I had hired an attorney that my friend says, oh, I use this attorney. And, we were all dumb kids back in the day, driving too fast, being 16, 17 years old, etc. And he's like, oh, I have this attorney friend. He gets me out of all my tickets and all that. Use him. So I hired an attorney. I paid the attorney. The attorney told me, no, you don't even have to show up to court. I'll take care of it. Unbeknownst to me, the attorney forgot the court date and didn't go to court either. So the whole time I thought everything was taken care of, I had a warrant out for missing a traffic ticket, a speeding ticket, just a simple speeding ticket for being 16, 17. I think it was 16 or 17. And unlucky Ginger and I are driving around in my truck in Louisville, Kentucky back in 1999. I was still living at home with my parents. I think I was 16 or 17. They had just went on vacation to Canada, so I was home all by myself.
Yep.
And we get pulled over by a very angry gentleman.
Yes, he was.
We got pulled over at gunpoint and, yelling at us to put our hands on the dash and everything else. And it's like 11 o'clock at night. I mean, we've never been in trouble. We're both good guys. And he's yelling at Ginger and like, put your hands on this. And so anyway.
Well, we had been fishing. And we went into Louisville and we wanted to get a new fillet knife so we can cut the fish. So we got a fillet knife And then I just took it and I sit it underneath the seat so it wasn't like flopping around everywhere.
Yeah, in the
And then-
Walmart bag or wherever.
Yeah,
it was.
and so he pulled us over, and then he's getting him out, and he's like, "Is there any weapons in the vehicle?" And he's like, "Well, just this cool, awesome fillet knife we just bought."
This new fillet knife.
He's
we
like,
bought.
"Show him, Ralph," and I was like, "Okay." I reached down, and he shoved him into the truck, grabbed his gun. "Don't you do it! Don't you do it!" And I'm like, "I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it." So I had to sit there with my hands on the windshield for a long time. But
Yeah. So and this was like on a Friday, and I ended up spending 24 hours in jail. Let's see. I finally got a phone call, and this was all over a speeding ticket. I've never been in trouble before in my life. This is the one and only time I've ever went to jail over a speeding ticket. Benchmark when I was like 16 years old. I finally get a phone call. I call Unlucky Ginger's house, and his mom answers. And I'm like, where's Ralph at? And she's like, "Oh, he's out fishing in your truck." so when I got, my truck, I got pulled over. They took me to jail. He had to drive my truck home. So instead of sitting there waiting on me to, call for help,
I've been waiting all day, and I was
jumped in
like,
my truck and went out on the property fishing in the ponds on the 100-something acres, and he's out where you can't get a hold of him. So I'm just stuck in jail for 24 hours. And they finally let me out. I had to go back to court to address this, and all the charges got dismissed over that too. So it, God, that was back in 1999. So I remember.
and that was before GPS, cell phones, and stuff. I don't know how I made it to the Louisville police station to pick you up because I'd never been there before.
Yeah, MapQuest back in the day.
MapQuest, print it out, read the directions as you're driving down the road because that's all safe.
I remember I had to I had to go back to court. I remember there was a lady who had her arms full of books, and I rushed up and I opened the door and I held the door open for her at the courthouse, and she said thank you. Turned out she ended up being the judge, which was awesome because she smiled as soon as she called me up there, and the charges were dismissed. I told the judge that I'd hired an attorney, and he said I didn't have to show up, and he would take care of it, and yada yada. And so that all got dismissed back in 1999.
Yeah.
So that was the one and only thing. So yeah, and Kentucky both times. So I'm gonna stay out of Kentucky. I think I'm getting once is enough. Twice of the Commonwealth versus jackpot judo is a little more than I can bear.
But it makes for some fun stories.
Yeah, fun stories.
We've been laughing about that first one for years.
The first one, yeah.
First one.
This one, not so much.
We will. It'll start getting real funny.
It was just one more thing I had to deal with right now, and I'm dealing with enough. So,
but you got to just learn to laugh. You got to, because you can't be a sourpuss. Got to laugh at some of the funny stuff, and I help make some of the stuff funny by showing up and being like, "Hey, I got you on camera."
Yeah,
but we had a good day because we got to laugh at the lady driving down the road with the gas pump in her car.
That was funny.
And then we came home, we cooked on the grill, had a good dinner.
That's what good friends are all about. Is when you got guys that'll drop everything and show up on a Monday morning at a courthouse just in case you get put in handcuffs. Not necessarily to be there to get you out, but to be there to video it and to capture evidence for future.
I brought a little bit of cash just in case, because I'm like, I don't know if he needs this or not. I don't know if they're gonna confiscate whatever you got, and you got to call for somebody else to actually use the bail money. I didn't know, so I'm like, I'll bring some just in case.
So yeah, fun and games.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right,
there you go. So
appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in.
Fugitive for justice from justice since 2012.
Long time on the run.
Squeaky clean again.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you, I don't ever get pulled over. I've been driving since 2012. I never get pulled over. I don't speed. So. Anyway.
All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Check on the other videos we've been posting, and we are now. By the time you're reading this or watching this, we're going to be in Foxwoods. So we are here at Jackpot's house. We're getting ready to fly out first thing in the morning. We're at least going there.
We're going to get snowed in when we're there.
We don't know when we're going to leave there, but we're going there.
We don't know when we're going to get back.
So, all right. We'll see you all guys at Foxwood if you're showing up. If not, we'll see you guys on the next video.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.